Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Rangers Review Team News reaction video ahead of the Europa League opener with Real Betis this evening. Chris Jack is joining us. He is live in the bills of Ibrox. He's in the media room. Have you been looked after so far, Chris, in there?
As always, Derek, got here nice and early. Good car parking in the Albion. A bit of chicken for dinner as well, which is always nice as well. So, everybody's in good spirits. Everybody's looking forward to the game. An interesting lineup from Michael Beale, certainly an attacking one. So there should be goals at Ibrox this evening.
Yeah, let's bring up the team tonight, folks. This is how Michael Beale lines up his Rangers 11. It is very attack-minded, as Chris says. Rangers going with Butland in goal, a back four of Barisic, Davis, Goldson and Tavernier, a midfield of Lundstrom, Cifuentes and Tom Lawrence, and the forward line consisting of Rabi Matondo, Abdallah Sima and Kemar Roof. On the bench for Rangers this evening, McCrory, Dessers, Lammers, Sterling, Jack, Suter, Scott Wright, King, Devine, McKinnon, Lyle and Kieran Wright. Couple of surprises for me in that lineup, Chris. Well, I think one really in the main, Tom Lawrence starting the game. I wouldn't have been overly surprised if I seen Cyril Dessers start the game. It's pretty much the lineup I'm sure I predicted, with Lawrence coming in for Ryan Jack. Is that a surprise for you?
It is. I know we've spoken a couple of times on the videos this week, Derek, and I assumed that Ryan Jack would play. I thought Michael with a really solid midfield three, and it would be Jack, Lundstrom and Cifuentes, especially after also the news of Nicholas Raskin's injury. But I think the addition of Lawrence there shows that this is a game that the manager wants to win. He's certainly not here just trying to soak up a bit of Betis pressure. I think it's a really attack-minded side. Slightly surprised that he feels Lawrence can get through another start, having got also a start up at McDermott Park at the weekend. But if he's fit, even just to give Rangers an hour, he gives the team something different in the middle of the park. He can drive, he can carry the ball, got a goal threat, especially from distance as well. So I think it's a real sign of intent from the manager to have Tom Lawrence in the middle of the pitch. Up front, I'm slightly surprised that Dessers didn't get the nod, but again, I think it's a really attacking lineup. There's certainly plenty of pace. It's very direct. Again, as we mentioned yesterday, Kemar Roof, if he gets a chance, you would back him to go and put it in the back of the net. Chances may well be at a premium for Rangers tonight, so Roof's going to need to be at his very best. He's going to need to be clinical. And if you're Matondo and you're Sima, what an opportunity this is for you. Matondo could never have dreamed he would be in this type of arena at the start of the season when there's so much debate over his future. Sima, this is one of the reasons why he would have come to Rangers, and this is why Brighton allowed him to come up the road on loan. A great experience for him, big crowd. He's performed against PSV. Matondo's got his goal against PSV. A different occasion, obviously, a different pressure, but it's a great stage for them, and certainly a great chance to go and make an impact in a European arena.
Yeah, in terms of the back four, Chris, of course, no Ridvan in the European squad, hence why Borna comes back in. Ben Davis keeps his place as well. I know that some, especially on social media, reacting to our predicted teams earlier on today, suggested that John Suter should come back in alongside Connor Goldson. But if it's not broke, don't fix it. I'm quite happy keeping Ben Davis alongside Goldson in there. Would you go along with that?
I don't think it's a massive surprise. I think if Suter had started up at McDermott Park at the weekend, 9 times out of 10 he then keeps his place for the game tonight. I think when the manager then makes that call and he changes it and he goes with Ben Davies, I think it was always likely that Davies was going to keep his place. I don't think that was a massive surprise. Centre back has been an area of huge discussion amongst the fans over the season and certainly over the summer in terms of the transfer window. It's not the strongest Rangers back four we've ever seen. Could it have been improved on over the course of the summer? Probably. I think it could have been, but this is the options the manager's got. This is the back four that he's settled on. This is what he's got to choose from. It's going to be Goldson and another. He feels that Ben Davies is the right man for the job tonight. And we'll tell if he can go and shackle a Betis side that's certainly got plenty of attacking talent in it, and certainly carries a lot of threat from middle to front.
Yeah, In terms of the formation, it'll probably deviate from what we've popped up on the screen there. I know that there's a couple of different suggestions. Jamie's saying I think it's at a 4-2-3-1. Stephen McGillespie happy with the team. He says, exciting team. Let's do this. Rangers. Randy Marsh is getting excited with Kemar Roof up front. Chris is saying Roof 45-yard banger. I'll take one of those again. Thank you very much. Just on the defensive options, Chris said he would have had Sousa for Goldson, but knew that was never going to happen, he says. In terms of Kemar Roof up front, what did it say of Cyril Dessers at this moment in time, Chris? He's fallen down the pecking order quite considerably in the last few games. Well, a couple of games, of course. Didn't see him in Perth against St Johnstone. Abdallah Sima was preferred to him when Danilo came off injured. Kemar Roof is, for me, still hands down the best striker at the club. I'm excited to see him in what is his first European game in a while.
It certainly is. It's been a long time since Kemar's also had the chance to play in these type of games. As you said, Eric, I think he's probably still the most natural finisher within the squad. I think he's the man that 9 times out of 10 you would back above anyone else in the squad to finish a chance. These are the type of games that you hear of, those long weeks, months over the course of his injury problems that he's had. These are the type of games that he's been desperate to get back from. Also had a couple of appearances. He's also scored up at Ross County. Should have had goals since then. If he can get one tonight, that could be a huge moment for Rangers, because we know this is a Rangers side that needs a result. It's certainly a Rangers side that needs a performance. In terms of Cyril Dessers, I think it probably tells you where he is right now in terms of his Rangers career. It's not been the best of starts. His goal return is also not what anybody would have expected. I don't think the performance levels have been anywhere near what people expected either. And you're now looking at him saying, well, if Danilo had been fit, he wouldn't have been getting in ahead of him. Roof's obviously fit, and the manager's decided to go with Kemar rather than Dessers. I think the only thing you could say, if you look at Matondo and Sima, there's every chance that they could fall slightly wider, maybe give a bit more of a protection to Barisic and Tavernier. You could easily see Rangers, if things aren't going well and find themselves under the cosh for a bit, those two guys could drift slightly wider if need be, and try and use their pace in a defensive sense. So that's maybe another reason why Matondo and or Seaman get the nod ahead of Dessers. But I'm sure Cyril will hope that he's got a role to play tonight, because it's certainly a night for whoever can inspire Rangers. It's certainly a night that can kickstart a campaign for individuals and the collective.
Yeah, let's get to a few comments that are coming in. Dave's Dogs, the wonderfully username here, it says, actually pretty happy with that. Good pace up front, very different to what I was expecting. Didn't see Lawrence starting again, you and me both, Dave. Chris McFarlane, happy with the forward line, says we have width, fantastic. Yeah, there is pace there in Matondo and Abdallah Sima, that's for sure. So let's hope we can see it in all its glory tonight against Real Betis. Incidentally, I'll just read you through the Betis side. They do have Claudio Bravo, 40-year-old experienced goalkeeper. He does pass his fitness test. He starts in goal. Hector Bellerin, Pesela, Bartra, Abner, Rodriguez, Roca, Luis Enrique, Isco, is Abde, and Iglesias. So that is how Manuel Pellegrini's side shape up tonight. I'm not entirely sure what formation they'll line up in, but I'm sure it'll become clear as the match kicks off. Just on Dessers, Stephen Gillespie with a point here says, Dessers will get his chance and do well. Lads are options for the team. Roof's in and fit and in form. Dessers will get there, he said. And James Quinn more bluntly said Dessers has been dropped because he has produced nothing. So there you go. He has produced flashes, but not enough to start tonight. Origami Dinosaur with a point, decent counter-attacking setup. It certainly is, as I mentioned, plenty of pace in that team. Want to get your views on Cifuentes, Chris, because the manager was talking about him yesterday at the press conference. He was asked with the injury to Todd Cantwell and of course, Nico Raskin, does it give Cifuentes a chance to get a few games under his belt? He says he came in very late in the first couple of games. He did some really good things. He produced a fantastic cross against Servette that should have been an assist, and had one against Livingston where the defender has made a fantastic block against Cyril. So he's been unfortunate in that regard. He's been away on international duty, so this is his moment. He's been here for a while now. I said recently that the new players have been here long enough now. He was the last one to come in, and now I think he's ready to go. When you're talking about players stepping up tonight, Chris, this is a great opportunity for him.
It is, Derek. Now, these are the type of games that he would have been sold on when he's considering his options. Also, the Rangers were one of a number of suitors that were keen to sign him in the summer. The prospect of European football, big nights at Ibrox, big crowds, big pressure. That would have been one of the attractions for Cifuentes. I think he's had an okay start to his Rangers career, but as the manager said the other day there, it's now time for all the new signings to go and kick on, and that certainly applies to Jose Cifuentes. Also, the news that Raskin has picked up that injury was announced at the start of the press conference yesterday. A huge blow for Rangers, coming on the back of Danilo, coming on the back of Cantwell and Dill. It does leave that middle of the pitch slightly short of options, but I think that's a good three that the manager has picked tonight. And really interested to see how Jose Cifuentes does. It's a big night for him. If he can go and produce a big performance, he can just get his Rangers gear off and running. People will then start to really get excited about him, really get behind him, and hopefully there's a bit of momentum behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, folks, just a reminder that Rangers team, it's Butland, Barisic, Davis, Goldson and Tavernier, Lundstrom, Lawrence and Cifuentes, Matondo, Sima and Roof on the bench. McCrory, Dessers, Lammers, Sterling, Jack, Suter, Scott Wright, Kieran Wright, King, Devine, McKinnon and Lyle. That is how Rangers line up this evening in the Europa League opener at Ibrox. Cannot wait for it. Chris is there for us. We'll have the usual post-match reaction afterwards as well, once we've spoken to the manager and gathered the interviews from the mix zone. We hope you can join us for that. But hopefully we're commentating on Rangers' victory. Enjoy the game, Chris. Enjoy the rest of the grub there. I'm sure that the chicken sounds absolutely delicious. Hopefully it's a cracking night at Ibrox, and we'll speak to you a little later on.
Enjoy the game, Derek. I'll catch up with you later on. Hope everybody enjoys the game.
Cheers, Chris. Right, folks, we'll speak to you later. Hopefully your team wins, and we'll chat later on. Bye for now.